Hello everyone, this is Irma.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And welcome to another Rambling Reviews video where we give you more reviews in one video.
Yay!
It's awesome and it's more fun.
Yeah.
And today we are doing a special with 3 games from one publisher, which you probably already know because it will be in the picture.
I was doing like a drum roll.
Okay, let's do it. And today come on, let's do it. Today we are doing 3 games from one publisher, and the publisher is Blue Orange Games.
Ta-da!
I like the internet goes wild, like what? It's crazy. So yeah, we are taking a look at 3 more games from Blue Orange Games. We already reviewed a couple of the games that they had in Essen, and these are the last ones that we brought home.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at them. Like, as always, Blue Orange Games doesn't make heavy Euro games, which is our favorite style, but we do enjoy lighter games. And that's the reason why I usually always look at Blue Orange, because they have the tendency to make games with great components and some great games. Of course, they have a lot of family games, a lot of kids games, but we're trying to pick out the ones that we think are most interesting.
Yeah.
So these are the last one. Let's start with the first one, which is Uxmal, which is from Blue Orange Games. And this is a game where you are collectively together, you are building a pyramid. You are trying to put priests on the pyramid to score different points. To score
Not the same points.
Not the same
you
points.
have to have your own points.
Yeah, you're scoring points depending on where you're standing. There's different symbols or different animals, and the different animals have a chart which tells you how much they are worth, and they can be moved around by using cards, because every time you place a tile, you will get cards depending on if you match some symbols. You will get the cards, 1 or 2 cards from one type of animal, and you're trying to keep the most cards of the thing you think will score the most, because the best animals will also score points for the cards. But you also need to play the cards to move the animals so that your animal scores, the ones where you have priests. So the game is lasting 3 rounds. You're building the first part of the pyramid, then you're scoring, building the second, which is smaller and shorter, then you will score, and then you're building the last, which is only 4 tiles, and then you will score. So that is basically the game. It's a pretty short game. So what do you think about Uxmal?
What I like about Uxmal is, first of all, the components.
Uh-huh.
It looks like this alive game with the actual 3D pyramid that you're building, and also the colors of the symbol are colorful, and you can see like the track and have a good feeling of how much your animal are worth. Mm-hmm. Not your animal, the animal that you want to be worth.
That you want to be
the
worth.
Most. Yes.
That's what you like?
Yeah.
Okay. So what don't you like?
It's pretty chaotic. And that is a good thing, because it's a family game. It's meant to be like, you can't really predict it. You have to just like go with the flow and take advantage of someone else's moves, and trying to figure out when to use all your cards to like boost the animal that you want to be worth up on the top, or when to save your resources and play it a little cool. And I think I'm bad at it, and then I maybe don't like it as much.
So I think that this game has a lot of interesting mechanisms. I really like that. Like, it feels really simple, like drawing a tile. That's of course a lot of luck, which is okay in this kind of game because it is a family game. It's not meant for strategic, heavy Eurogamers. Yep. Which always are like that, like always badass people who play Euro games.
Yes, of course.
But it feels like that is okay. And getting the cards is okay. What is interesting here is a mechanism that I enjoy, like trying to make your symbols, or trying to make that worth a lot by spending the least amount of energy, because you don't want to spend over your cards, because then they will not be worth point because you spent them. And other people might pick up those cards to be able to score those cards that you wanted to score. So I like that mixing of the trying to put the priests on somewhere. You might go, okay, I'm going to go heavy in for this, but if you go heavy for one animal, somebody else probably going to play cards from that animal or another animal to push that down the line. I enjoy that. It's a mechanism that I enjoy, like this kind of mechanism I enjoy in heavier games, so it's fun to see it used in a lighter game, like the manipulation of the values basically, which is a nice mechanism, but it doesn't do it, it does it okay. I think I liked it more than you. I liked it more than everyone I played it with, basically. I think because I think it has that core mechanism that I enjoy, but it is not a super fantastic game for us. but I see it being a solid game. It's not going to be for us, but if you're looking for a game that might teach your children or your family to play more, getting into like stepping it up a bit, I think this is good to introduce them to some kind of different mechanisms than in these kind of simpler game usually.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really tricky sometimes to see how much that you want to use to get something back from in return, basically. And what I kind of don't like about it is that if you have, if you're lucky and matching the most valued symbols, you will get on top, and then I have to like evaluate, okay, am I okay with being like getting the second amount of points here? Do I allow you to stay on top? But then to change that, I have to use my resources. That gives you again an edge. And then I just like see people falling behind and not having fun sometimes. But what makes up for that a little bit is that when you go from like the first round to the second, the values of the animals shift. And then if you did a little poorly the first round, you can come back in the second round. And I enjoyed that.
Okay, cool. So ratings. So I'm going to give this a 6. I think it's an okay family game. I think it's going to be better for families than it was for us. But I enjoy the pure mechanisms. I enjoy the core things here, not just a fantastic game for me.
Yeah, you just have to see if you think this will be fun for your family. Yeah, it's not for us, but I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Cool.
It's okay. Yeah.
Cool. So next up we have Dragon Market, which is another game from Blue Orange Game.
What?
That would be strange if it wasn't. In this game, you are basically racing to fulfill contracts. You get a contract which shows 3 or 4 different type of thing, depending on if you're different type of thing. Really great sentence there, Johannes. Different items that you want to collect. And those items are going to be on different boats all over the place. You start on your kind of corner and your, what's it called again, where you go off the
At the harbor? No,
I don't remember. Yeah. It's called Brygge in Norwegian, so like Bruges in another, but that's a game. But where you go off, I do not remember what it's called.
No, I'm totally blank.
But where you go on a boat. So you stand there, where you go on a boat, and then you want to go on that boat. And you're going to move around. You're going to roll 2 dice, which shows you how many moves you get. You're going to use those movement points either moving the boats, rotating the boats. Some boats will rotate by the middle. Some boats will rotate by the end. They're all 3 pieces long on this grid. And you're trying to move around to get the items that you need as fast as possible and go back. So it's another racing game, which, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you're trying to fulfill 2 of these contracts before you will win the game. So first of all, this game has great components.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It has like these little guys with the hats.
Yeah, like the how to say like the without saying something wrong. The hats that usually you can see in China.
Yeah, and they're cool. And these people wear them. And they look cool on the board because they are in 3D and they look beautiful. And you can like turn them around and stuff. And yeah, I'm just like, I'm a so big fan of how the game looks.
Yeah, it's visually really, really well done. It actually has a great insert for placing the boats in there because the boats, these guys are mounted on the boats, so you have to move them with them. It's not like you have to move it like and put the guys on the boats and all like that. The gameplay here, I think, is, for me, I think it's just okay. It feels, because you're placing all the items randomly, then you draw a card. You can be super lucky and get all of your stuff super close to you, or you'll have to move all over here and all over here and all over there and all over there to get your things. I feel like that is kind of making it not so interesting. Also, you are rolling 2 dice. I understand why, because it would be boring for families again to have like, it's always 6, like always 6 moves, but it's basically always 6, 7 or 8 moves. So you can be like, yeah, I got 8 this time. So it is, I understand that, because of like, I need 7 now, please give me 7, I will win. And you can do that luck thing there, which people who like rolling dice more than I enjoy that kind of rolling and seeing like, oh, do I get it? And I also like that when I just play games like this. But for me, there's nothing amazing here. But again, I see It's a solid game. It works really well. And if your family doesn't mind that it can be a bit swingy depending on the cards you get, I think it's going to be a good family game.
Yeah, I agree. I like it more than you.
Yeah.
I enjoy this. I don't mind the luck in this game because I think it's so fun to just like rotate these boats. And even if, okay, I got unlucky, the last piece that I needed was all over at your brygge. The thing we don't remember.
Harbor. Let's say harbor. It's not
I
harbor.
said that in the start of
I know.
the video.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just saying words now.
Yeah, I just need a name for this thing. But it's okay. I will just like, okay, I'm making my own game out of this. I'm just going to get as like at least far behind. No, yeah.
Do the best you can.
Yeah, do the best I can.
Easier, yeah.
And I really enjoy that, even though you can't get unlucky. I like the dice. I understand why they choose to have like this other element. And when you are including dice in a game like this, I love the way that they have done it, that you can only get 3 different numbers.
Yeah.
So there's not like even more luck that can swing you like...
That would be frustrating for people
Yeah.
playing like, oh, I got 2 again.
Yes.
Because you can't do anything with 2.
Yeah, so this is less lucky than Ludo.
Oh yeah, a lot
Yeah.
more, yeah. And I enjoy the puzzle here. I enjoy the moving and trying to do that. It
And
looks
block
really,
others and-
and you
yeah.
can do a lot of things to block other people. But I enjoyed that aspect. It just wasn't amazing for me.
Yeah, I think that moving the boat are like logical. The way they move is
Yeah.
really intuitive for me. I think smaller kids might have like a problem with remembering how the boats move and how what they're allowed to do. But I hope that families will enjoy that. I would play it with my own family as a kid. I would love this game.
Yeah.
And also because it looks amazing. I think
yeah.
that plays a huge part of it as well. I like it better than you, and I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Cool. Also, just a note, we played this with 2 people who haven't really played almost
Yeah.
any games, and they really enjoyed it.
Yes.
They were like, oh, this was so much fun, and they like it, so that is something that you should think about. If you play with players to introduce them to games or gateway games or gateway gamers, this is good for that.
And we played it 2 players as well. I like it more with 4 or
Yeah.
3 because the board gets more balanced that way.
Yeah.
But 2 was okay too.
Yeah, there's more things are moving.
Yeah.
So it's not like if you're stuck, you have to do like 16 moves to get out of it.
Yes.
So what did you rate it?
6.5.
Okay, so I'm going to rate it a 5.5 then.
Yeah.
I think it's a just about average game. I enjoy it. I think it's going to be for somebody. Just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So last up we
It's
have
for me. I can
a
take it. You can
silly
take
game.
Uxmal.
We
I'll
have
take
a
this one.
silly game called Slide Quest. This, when I saw this in Essen, we went to the Blue Orange booth really early in the morning, like an hour before the holes opened. There was nobody there, and this looked so intriguing, and I had to watch it because this is a game where you use the box as a game. This is basically a co-op version of the old puzzle, like the big puzzle box where you have 2 handles that you move around to move the metal ball in the labyrinth and trying to get in from start to finish with different levels. We had that when I was a kid. Did you have that?
Yeah. The maze one.
Yeah, the maze, yeah. You're moving it through the maze, trying to not fall down in the holes. This is basically that, as a co-op with levels. So you have a big hero which has a ball under him, and you're trying to move him around. You can play 1, 2, 3, and 4 players. 1 player, I think, would be really hard because you have to move all the levers. With 4 players, it's super fun. You sit around it, and you're trying to move him in different ways depending on the level. Sometimes you just want to move from A to B in a path.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're trying to not knock over these dynamite. Sometimes you're trying to knock enemies into different holes. Sometimes you need to knock them into specific holes. And all of this, you can do it either like family friendly, or you can do it with the app, which makes it super stressful and makes it more into a game that gamers can play. So this is a super fun game for me. I'm going to say that to Snow, but what do you think about Slide Quest?
The components, again, I just have to...
Slide Quest!
Yeah, Blue Orange is so good at components.
Yes.
And it looks good. It doesn't feel broken the way that this box is used, as it works really well.
Yeah.
It tilts the board the way that you want to tilt it, or is trying to tilt it. I like the app. I think it's cool that you can add like this extra stress level and just not just take it in your own tempo or something, and but you can drop it as well, and then it's more family friendly, and I think that's really clever that you don't need time.
No, because it would be horribly stressful, and your family would hate it if you play this with the timer. I think if you don't have older kids.
Yeah, I think I like have some other more exciting the dexterity kind of games that I would rather play, but this was fun and quick, so yeah, I would play this.
Yeah, I love this. I think this is when you played 4 players, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like you have to play with the app. Like without the app, this would not be a fun game for me. But with the app, which makes it like stressful, you have to communicate. You have to play really fast on most of the levels, and you cannot do anything wrong. And you have lives, so you don't want to lose the lives. So you have to be careful, but not too careful. And I really enjoy this. I think this was my highlight, I think, from the Blue Orange games from this year. I really liked it, and this is the one I really want to keep, because I think this can be played with my nephew. I think this can be played with my parents, maybe not because they hate stress games, but this can be played with anybody. If you don't like games, you can play this. If you like games, you can play this. It's fun, it's quick, and it's just silly. And I like these kind of games because it's a good interaction game. It's a good game you can play just at the end of the night when everyone is tired and you just want something, or if you need or if you are really in a dump after playing a heavy Euro game, you can get this to get some energy and then continue playing a heavy Euro game. So I really, really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I get like the same feeling sometimes when I play this as a Magic Maze, because you have like this one direction that you can go, and then everyone else is just like, Selma, you have to do something, and just like, what? I've done all I can do. I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. So it has 20 levels, so it has like a lot of replayability that way. And I absolutely enjoy it. So I'm going to give this a 8.
Oh,
it's
high.
It's really high, but it's for this kind of game. Like, it's not going to compare to other games with 8, like heavy Euro games. It's going to be like on the top 10 games.
I'm thinking the same way here when I'm rating this game. I'm rating this a 6.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you don't like it?
I like it. 6 is above average.
Yeah,
it's an okay game.
I think this is really fun. This was fun to play, and I hope to play it again.
Yeah.
And that is the 3 games that we were going to review this video.
Yeah.
So that's the end. If you are still here, please subscribe to our channel. Just click the bell button to get notifications. And if you want to support the channel and us, then go to Patreon and you can search for Board Gaming Ramblings and you can find us there. That's the end of this video. I'm Johannes.
And I'm Sunoma.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.